So, here is an interesting game, and I am trying to do it justice in this recording because it's actually startlingly good, almost sneakily good, because it looks like a very simple, very what's the word? Maybe crude game, but it's actually not. It actually has a lot of depth, and we can see that because if you look down here, it has won some awards: the Experimental Design Prize at the Tokyo Game Show, Excellence in Experimental Design at Busan Indie Connect. It's had some positive comments on a couple of online video game magazine sites, e-zines, whatever they're called these days. So it has been making some waves, and it's I suppose a testament to the size of the indie game market, and I suppose the gaming market in general, that I haven't heard of it at all until I found it in my itch.io view, as it were. So anyway, we'll show some gameplay and then we can talk about it a bit more afterwards. So let's run the game and jump in. Now the setting, the context is that it's the First World War. Anyway, just a quick heads up, this version of Morse has been adapted for the browser to increase the number of people it can reach, but the best, most stable way to experience Morse is on desktop, which is a Steam demo. So if you like the look of it, I suggest grabbing it through Steam. Although the itch.io version is a lot easier. What we can do is just set the volume of the music down a bit, just so it's not too invasive. And unfortunately, it does mention that F is settings that F makes it full screen, and it doesn't seem to work. So that is my main and probably my biggest critique, is why is the F button not working? So we are going to play it in a window, unfortunately, but it works fine there. So let's jump in and look at the gameplay, and I'll show you how it all works, and then we can talk about it afterwards. So yeah, we're just going to not change difficulty or anything, start a new game, because it starts with a kind of a tutorial phase as well. So, midnight 1916, incoming telegram. This could be a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. You should be able to click through it, but I think if we just click, we go through it. Anyway, the Kaiser's Imperial Fleet has breached the naval blockade of Germany. This is something that happened in 1916, I think. Vanquish the Empire's attack at all costs, or at least it's an attempt at recreating the famous events. Right, so who we are is someone who is using Morse code to tell the guns where to aim, and then we also get to fire the guns. So we have a grid of aiming sites. You can see at the top there, it's got LEAINT at the top, and then 1 at the side, and so we just have one sort of row coming in at the moment, but we have different sort of points along the row highlighted by LEARNT. So we can see the Morse code dots for each of those letters on the far right, but they also have them underneath the letters on the middle, so I don't know why we have a help sheet on the side. Anyway, so the way we move our cursor around the field is by sending the appropriate Morse code. So, for example, it's telling us for the tutorial to go to the N, and N is dash and dot. So, using the left-hand mouse button, we hold it down a bit to put in a dash, and then beep it once for a dot, and we move to the N. And then we can go back to the R with dot, dash, dot, and we go back to the R, and then we go to the L with dot, dash, dot, dot. And that is quite difficult to do when you're doing it in a hurry, because getting the fine timing between the dot and the dash can be quite difficult for the game to understand what we're trying to do. Right, so now we have artillery. If we look on the bottom left, you can see we have 2 artillery shells, and then something else that's loaded in the sort of the square with the stripes on it. And we can press enter to fire the artillery. At the moment we're pointing at L, and if you can see at the bottom of L there's like a little flashy arrow thing that means that there is a ship there. We don't normally have that, that's just for the tutorial, but we can press enter and we fire on L and we've sunk a ship. And then if we move to A, fire again and we sink it, you can see the ships briefly appear. If there were other ships in the area like next to it in R or E, they would also be a little bit more visible now, because we can actually expose ships by firing near them, which we use later in the game. dash and dot. We go to N and we fire it, and we have finished this round. We've killed all the enemies. Now we get a bit of a bonus. What is heavy shell? Heavy shell is a large explosive that illuminates. Or we can have the horizontal shell, which fires kind of the shell, the block that you're on and the block next to it to the outside. So both of those seem quite useful. A large explosive that illuminates. I suppose it just means that we get to see a lot of things. Let's just go with that. Okay, and now we get to place mines, which is an extra line of defense. So I'll put a mine there, and I'll put one on E, and I'll put one on S. And we're going to sit on S. Now we've only got one incoming row at the moment, so this is a hell of a lot easier. Oh, no man. I get to shell the hell out of these guys. They're coming in quite tight and fast. No, it's basically tells in the tutorial that if the ships get past, we get overrun. And we killed them all. That was a very, very easy round, but we'll what is it? Delayed mine fuse to higher damage. No, I think I'll prefer an extra mine. So now we have 2 rows. So you see, if on the left we have a 1 and a 2, and those are quite long things to do. And that sort of my mouse is a little bit dodgy as well. Oh man. Put one on I, and we have the bonus one as well. So right. Where are the enemies going to come from? Oh, he's coming in quite fast, but we've sunk him. Oh, and there's another one. Now, the more you hit them, the faster your ammunition comes in, but if you miss them, then your ammunition doesn't come in very fast as well. Oh, man. It's difficult to get those numbers right. Let's sink this guy. 3 hits. Oh, 4 hits. Wow, he was tough. Nope. Ah, that is hard. Oh, no. I need to get this guy. And I think the mines stay where they are, so it's definitely a benefit in saving the mines. Alright. Here we go, and we win. And I'm going to stop playing there, because I think it's enough gameplay. I think you can see what's going on and where the difficulties are. Yeah, so that's the game. Alright, so if you're just here to see the gameplay, I do hope this has really whetted your appetite for this game, because it is absolutely fantastic, and I think it's going to go a long way. And I do recommend grabbing the Steam download. I think it'll be a bit more of a comfortable experience, but if you just want a quick test for it, the link will be in the description. The game is just called Morse. Please grab it and go wild. It is a good one. Let's just reload that so we can get rid of the music. Yeah, so that's it. So, I mean, if you are departing now because you've seen what you want to see, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. because that boosts engagement for me, which helps the channel, and boosts engagement for you, which teaches YouTube that you like to see videos about games, and we'll give you more of those because that's the kind of video you have interacted with. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed so you can see more gaming videos. There's a new one every day. Right, if you are staying for the critique, however, okay, the first critique I have is that obviously that I couldn't maximize the screen, which sucked. I really wanted to, but you know, that's fine. That's the nature of it. Web builds can be a little bit buggy sometimes. I'm sure it'll be fine if I grab the download. There's not too much else. I mean, the controls were, you know, the UI elements and all of that was kind of fine. Perhaps a little busy. I don't know. It could be stripped down a little bit. There's a lot going on in this game. I am a big fan of folding things away in submenus because people can normally navigate submenus if they're well named and things like that. But I also know that people don't like clicking too much down a submenu. So that's a tricky one to balance. But yeah, as much as possible, try to not make your screen too busy, because it is overwhelming and people don't like it. I mean, for example, here, you know, there's stuff flashing there, and there's stuff moving here, and flashing text up at the top and all that kind of stuff. It's like, honestly, yeah, don't try not to do that as much as possible, because that is just, it is overwhelming. It is that people see all of the stuff happening and they're like, no, I don't want to spend time and mental energy figuring out what's going on here. I'm going to a different one that's a bit simpler, a bit easier to interpret. So yeah, be careful that, especially inside your game. Yeah, otherwise, I mean, the sound is fantastic. I love the deep bass sounds of the artillery shells firing and the chunky doom. That really does release the dopamine, so I like that a lot. So really good on the sounds. The sort of the Morse beeps were perfect. Obviously, the art's really good looking. I love the fact that there were distinct visualizations of the ships once you've illuminated them. That was really good. Yeah, and the game kind of feeling, the gameplay was exciting. It was fun. It was difficult to get around using the Morse code. I'm sure with practice that would be picked up, but it was very, very enjoyable. One thing I do want to say, a little bit of a slight critique, which might just be me, is that the difficulty jump was a little severe from level 1 to level 2. I found when I just had one column coming in, that was actually quite easy, and I figured it out quite quickly, and I learned how to do it. It's not a little tricky until I understood what was going on, but that was fine. And then suddenly when you had 2 levels, and the Morse to switch between the 2 levels is difficult. It's hard to get that right, and I struggled the first time I played through it. I didn't actually fail. I still won, but you know, the first couple of times I tried that. But it is suddenly very hard. It suddenly requires a lot of focus. So I don't know if there's consideration to make it a little bit easier, that jump to the second invasion when you had to control two channels coming in. Might be an idea to try and make that a little bit simpler, but that might just be me. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, otherwise, fantastic, absolutely fantastic game. I cannot recommend it thoroughly enough. So I do suggest coming to give it a go, give it a look at, give it a play, and give this developer some love and support, because it is a good one. And thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.